We are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gem of the Crypto episode 795. Today is Friday, September 10th, 2021. Oh my goodness, this year is almost over. And I'm King, here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday. And today's top stories: El Salvador's largest bank partners with Flexa for Bitcoin payments. NASDAQ to provide price feeds for tokenized stock trades on DeFi chain. Bitcoin does not make a great deal of sense, according to billionaire Lee Cooperman. 101 Bored Apes NFT auction at Sotheby's closes at more than 24 million. Yeah, I said it right. And Warrior Steph Curry joins crypto exchange FTX as ambassador. And of course, we'll be having call-ins. Today is officially Fuck Bitcoin Fridays. So we got something wrong during this week. If you don't like something we said, if you disagree, you got any schmuck, call in with it. Alec will be putting that link in the chat. Of course, we hope to have Reggie call in today, talk a little SEC. And I know we'll be talking to Jams, who did appropriately call out another hex pump last week, and Pump did it. So we'll be talking about all of that. But first and foremost, I want to thank today's show sponsor, CryptoVantage.com. Of course, is a free news and resource for cryptocurrency. You can find our new partnership with them at go.cryptovantage.com/gentleman tech of tech crypto. So again, if you're listening, go.cryptovantage.com/gentleman tech of tech crypto. And of course, that will be for this month's giveaway they're having. As you can see here in the top right corner, if you go to that link, there are 33 days left. But this is the Crypto Vantage wallet giveaway contest. You can sign up for your chance to win a hardware wallet and $1,500, $1,000, or $500 to invest in crypto. There's 8 ways to enter. Of course, for those who already signed up for our weekly newsletter, you're already entered in that contest. But if you want to enter those other 7 ways, you can check out their website, visit the Crypto Vantage on Instagram, visit Crypto Vantage on YouTube, follow at Crypto_Vantage on Twitter, check out Crypto Vantage on TikTok, visit Crypto Vantage on Facebook, or share with your friends for extra entries. And again, that's go.cryptovantage.com/gentleman tech of tech crypto. And with this, you can earn up to $1,500 of free crypto. So I'm just calling it a mini airdrop right now. And hopefully our warriors are the ones to get at least 2 of those things. Let's make sure that we keep that in the community. Other than that, too, make sure you check out that smart token review as well. I'll be putting those links in the chat. Check out the smart token review. Warriors, do your thing on that. Tell us yay or nay on that. All right. Other than that, let's go ahead and jump into coin market cap and look at these top 10 coins for the day. Bitcoin's coming in at $45,744, down 2.86%. Ethereum's at $3,300 and down 6.49%, $3,309 to be more specific. Cardano round out that number 3 at $2.40 at $7, or excuse me, at down 7.46%. Some flippening happened, people. Flippening was happening last night. Number 6 is now Solana at $176, down 10%, still up 24.28% on the week. And Ripple is now at number 7 at $1.08, down 3.32%. And number 10, it looks like, is now USDC coin, whereas Polkadot is now number 9, and 11 is rounding it out with Terra Luna, which is up 23% on the day, $35.98, up 23.47%. So again, this cycle is in full effect, people. I just want to keep pointing that out because your favorite top 10 coins might not be your favorite top 10 coins here in the next month or so. And as we can see, a lot of these coins, we're smoking on your top 5 tonight. Listen, they are not making it through the night. All right. It is crazy, but this is the crypto market. As soon as you think you know it all, you learn something else. So let's go ahead and check out some of these commenters really quick. Oh, early tip. Thank you, Wisdom Bars, for the tip. Love the show. Kind of a random question. How much crypto do you think a person needs to live off of, and it doesn't matter which crypto you use? Yes. So it kind of depends on when you want to start living off it. But if you're looking at that long-term generational wealth, again, we've been saying to at least own 1 Bitcoin for sure for long-term. But as far as right now, again, it's relative to the person, right? I was actually talking about this yesterday. If you're a person who don't need all the things in life that there is, all the big mansions and cars, then you can relatively live off a small amount of crypto, specifically Bitcoin. And then from there, you can diversify your accounts to make more Bitcoin. That's what our showrunner, Alec, he was just down in Mexico to learn all about that from Simon Family Ventures, who we had on the show as well, where they're living off their Bitcoin now. And that's what they do. They live in Mexico off their Bitcoin. They're in the chat section if you want to talk to them. But I'm sure they can give you a better idea of what you need to be looking at yearly, depending on your living expenses and how much family you have and all that good stuff. Dana Dane, what's going on? Timothy Grigsby, good morning. Wendy Nichols, hey. Rodney King Green Jr., BK Bourne, Bedside Rays, Wakwanji, Fred Jones, Ghost Nick, Chappie, Peter Crimby, Crypto Report Hub. What's going on? What's going on? I said, hey, Crypto Report Hub said, what's up, King? I was thinking you weren't pulling up today since you may have gotten that airdrop. People, let me tell you, I didn't. I was looking, I was thinking of DY something else, the other exchange. I can't think of the name of it right now, or it's more of a swap. It's DY something, but it wasn't DYDX. So I missed out on the airdrop, but shout out to everyone who did use DYDX because again, you're talking about a $4,000 low and a $100,000 high. Shout out to all those people who caught that airdrop. But let's go ahead and jump into today's top story. Again, feel free to start to call in and we can go ahead and take those calls. But today's top story, El Salvador's largest bank partners with Flexa for Bitcoin payments. That is right. Bank Cola, I think that's how you pronounce it, will work with Flexa to accept Bitcoin across the bank's network for payments like loans and credit cards. Now, this story is in the headline, right? But the reason why I wanted to pull up the story, is because Flexa, of course, has the AMP token underneath, right? So it's one of those things where we didn't see the token. I was talking for the show. We did not see the token respond to that. I think we actually might be here pre-pump because they're only using that network for Bitcoin payments. But it was just one of those things where I kind of saw the writing on the wall. Again, El Salvador is making big moves, right? But I still wouldn't put it past any government or any regulatory body not to try to control the crypto ecosystem. So if they are using Flex's network for Bitcoin payments, it'll be interesting to see if they start unrolling the AMP token and say, hey, we're also going to use this for maybe for minor payments, or we're going to use this for taxes or something. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think it's something to definitely pay attention to since they specifically went after or they're specifically using Flexa, which to be honest is kind of a new network. So to have Flexa for the entire ecosystem for their payments, I think that's a huge thing. Of course, this was announced yesterday on Thursday. It has inked the deal. Banco Cola has inked the deal with the crypto payment network to enable Bitcoin transfers for the bank customers, including retail and merchant clients. As part of the partnership, customers can make credit card payments denominated in US dollars via Flexa or other Lightning network-enabled wallets like Chivo and Eclair. According to release, these payments will now attract any additional fees and will cover loans and merchant goods, among others. So again, shout out to Flexa as they continue to carve out a space for themselves in this industry. Shout out to El Salvador for picking them up. But again, the move I think here may be to look at AMP token. Again, it's not showing any activity as far as price. I did see a lot of volume increase today. I think about 26% of volume. But again, we know those numbers aren't always accurate, like wholly accurate. But I think it's something to pay attention to because if they do use Flexa Network and it works out and it becomes a perfect match made in heaven, like you really think Flexa isn't going to drop AMP token on El Salvador? Like it's happening. So I think it'll be something to pay attention to. But you all let me know in the comments what you think. Yeah. Garrett Meyer said AMP is the next Solana. And here's the thing with AMP. It already did pump, to be fair. Like it had a good pump this year and last year and this year too. So I was in that AMP pump. I heard about Flex AMP like early on when Binance, or not Binance, when Gemini was messing with it. I actually think one of the Warriors came on Talk Shop Live and dropped the Flexa AMP for us. So it already has pumps. So that's something to kind of consider. El Salvador isn't like a huge country where even if the Flexa network they're going to use AMP, it would drastically change the price. But any attention is good attention, especially when you're talking about a 5-cent token. where a government just picked up its network to use for their Bitcoin payments. So again, there's something to pay attention to. I thought it was a pretty cool story to start the day off, to see them make that partnership with El Salvador. So that would be pretty cool to see. And yes, Algorand has been doing crazy as well. So, that's more news for people who are interested in that altcoin itself. But yeah, we'll take a peek at AMP. Let's see what else is going on in the news today. NASDAQ. NASDAQ is out here sending bullish sentiments out. NASDAQ to provide price feeds for tokenized stock trades on DeFi chain. NASDAQ alongside FinHub and Tingo, who is making these names out here, will be providing its price feeds to DeFi chain, a DeFi platform built on the Bitcoin network. This is what I'm liking now. Like, everything is around the Bitcoin network, the Bitcoin blockchain, as it should be. We're getting away from this nonsense where we're just saying the network or the blockchain or whatever. And it's just like, stop it, okay? Like, the world's awakening to Bitcoin and the blockchain, and there hasn't been any competition to it from what I've seen. So let's just call it for what it is. Tokenized stocks have had a few shaky months from a regulatory perspective, as this article says, but that seemingly hasn't stopped legacy financial giants and decentralized finance advocates from inking new deals. Bloomberg reported that NASDAQ, FinHub, and Tingo will be providing the price feeds to DeFi chain, a DeFi platform built on the Bitcoin network. DeFi chain offers trading in tokenized stocks that correspond to the underlying price of major listed firms such as Tesla, Amazon, and Apple. The tokenized stocks, similar to a now retracted offering rolled out by Binance earlier this year, can be purchased in fractions without requiring investors to purchase a full traditional share, for which custody of a physical share certificate is required. So essentially, their DeFi chain is offering traditional derivatives in a tokenized cryptocurrency focused market. So something that already should have happened, which is hilarious, that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency isn't getting its due credit. But this whole, you can buy a share of a stock, that started after crypto became popular. So let's make sure we point that out, where now it's like, now you don't have to buy a whole Amazon stock or a whole Tesla stock. You can buy $5 worth. It was like, yeah, asshole, why couldn't I do that 10 years ago when all I had was $5 worth? Like, I could buy the whole stock now. Like, I wanted to do that when I couldn't. So I'm glad the next generation gets their turn at it, and these things are being offered. But this story was important because, again, this is a bullish signal. This is bullish sentiment. It is showing us that, the traditional market's hopping on board. Like, there are NASDAQ is providing a crypto company with info, with analytics, so they can put it on the Bitcoin network. Again, capitulation. A legacy organization like NASDAQ is coming over to crypto to say, hey, please take our information and post it on your online marketplace so your people can buy our derivatives of tokenized stocks, because they're not buying them normally anymore. Please do this for us. So again, I think this is a big deal. Right now it's NASDAQ, but again, give it some more time. You are going to start to see banks, venture capital companies, and everyone else in between. Anyone does anything with money, you're going to start seeing them reach out to these crypto, whether it's DeFi chain to be listed as far as its price feeds, or whether it's another crypto company to be placed on the marketplace, or whether it's an NFT platform like OpenSea, where they're trying to find a way to fit in. Like, we are going to start seeing more of this. I think this is a huge bullish signal, because here's the thing. These roads are two ways, right? It's like cross-linking. Not only will DeFi chain be trying to pump this out and pump their own products, but NASDAQ, the traditional markets are going to say, hey, if you can't afford it this way, if you can't do it this way, go check out DeFi chain and some of the products we partner with them on. So I think this is going to be huge for the space, as far as other traditional and legacy companies feeling comfortable enough to say, yes, I'm working in DeFi. Yes, I'm working with the Bitcoin blockchain, or the Bitcoin network, as they call it, right? Like, yes, I am doing these things, because you got to remember, in 2016, 2017, you still were, really into 2021, it was Elizabeth Warren or one of them, Janet Yellen, excuse me, the whole shadowy super coders who are only ones in crypto wearing their hoodies and stuff. Like, they still have this response to cryptocurrency and the actors and people inside of it. There's still this negative connotation. So the more you see NASDAQ come over, the more you see Bank of America do things, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo. Again, it's a two-way highway. They're trying to steal the narrative, but at the same time, they're making it legitimate, even though it's already legitimate, but they're making it legitimate amongst the Ned Flanders, right? All the hall monitors, they're starting to believe that this isn't just for criminals, because now when MasterCard CEO says he's into crypto, everybody loves him and believes him. But again, beforehand, he was saying this is all criminals and child pornographers and all that type of stuff. So again, this is a good news, very bullish sentiment. And that's why you buy dips, people. That's why when it's $45,000 a day, you had to ask yourself, do you believe it's going to go to back to 50K that we were just at 2 days ago? And when I see things like this story, I say yes to that. All right, let me take a quick peek at the comments. I see you all going crazy in the comments. Let's see. Yes, so Jared, I'm not going to say this. I will say that's an AMP call for sure, because if Flexa gets picked, if Flexa works in El Salvador and it gets picked up at a bigger country or from a bigger country, then they'll dump the AMP. They're not trying to do it too early. They're not trying to do it too early. They don't want to come, oh yeah, we help them with Bitcoin networks. But also, let me tell you about my little cousin who rapped too. It's like, hold on, bro. You just broke out with your first single. Like, we don't want to hear about your little cousin them over there. Like, let's get a feel for who you are first. So I think that's what we'll see with Flexa. Right now, you might not see anything coming out of Salvador, but the moment a second country, a bigger country picks it up, or even a third, they might even wait, then I think you'll see, hey, now that we got 2, 3, 4 countries, have we told you about our Lord and Savior AMP? You guys can do this. You know, they'll do the whole, it can be more cost efficient and blah, 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 blah. They'll basically say it can do everything Bitcoin's doing better. And all it takes is for one government to bite. So I'm not saying it's an official call right now. And the only reason why is because there's so many other interesting projects that have movement going on now. I don't know if you want to just sit in AMP and wait. However, I do think it has an upward trajectory. And then at the price point and it being listed on Gemini, it's kind of like Bitcoin, as they said, just pick an altcoin in the next 6 to 12 months. You can't miss for the most part. So I will say that about that. All right, let's see what's going on. Let's see. Bohemian Garden says, anyone set up a U-Team trade account in Fidelity? Oh, yeah, I haven't done that. Cryptocurrency said, Jams. Yeah, we talked about, Jams did a quiet prediction of Hex at 70 cents at the end of the month. Oh, man, listen, we're going to have him call in a bit. You know, we're going to be talking to Jams today. Let's see. PFC, what was going on track? Said, bro, I've been telling people you can thank Bitcoin for Robinhood and Webull. Exactly. I mean, you can thank Bitcoin for Robinhood, Webull, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Flexa Network, tokenized traditional stocks. Like, you can thank Bitcoin for a lot. It's just the fact that Bitcoin, you know, it didn't have parents, right? It was a test tube baby. So there's nobody to protect it when everybody starts to talk about it at school. You know, it comes home alone. It doesn't cry and wallow because it knows it's strong. It's like Superman. Bitcoin's like Superman, right? It just woke up on Earth one day and was just like, I don't know how I got here or what I'm here to do. I'm just trying to figure this thing out. And meanwhile, humans are trying to tug him in every other direction. But Bitcoin's Superman. It just came here. It doesn't know what's up. All right, let's see. Oh, hilarious. Surreal Innovation said Hex is like BitConnect on the blockchain. The beef has gotten started officially in the chat. All right, Warriors, let's see what happens over there. All right, Bitcoin does not make a great deal of sense, according to billionaire Lee Cooperman. That is right. We had to build it up to break it down today. The Omega Advisors chairman and CEO said people should be careful about Bitcoin and suggested gold as a better store of value. Like, we're still doing these arguments, huh? We're still doing the gold argument, huh? All right, I can tell you this, people. From all the photos of billionaires I've seen, by and large, and if I'm wrong, granted, I know there's one out there. There's definitely one, but by and large, the billionaires out there. They aren't like they aren't bodybuilders, you know. So I don't know why he would even promote this. I keep telling you, this whole store of gold thing is not real. It's fake. It's something the government got you to believe in before they hijacked it off gold to dollars. And the reason why I say it's fake is because even if gold works as a store of value, it wouldn't work in this new digital age. We would need to have like a widespread blackout, like no electricity, like everything will have to go wrong for us to say, like, people can't do simple math. people can't do 2 + 2 = 4. You think they're going to be doing metric accounting with gold? Like, it's not happening. Not only that, even if you could, I am telling you as a fact, if you had, you know what, if gold becomes a thing as a store of value, then guns will become super legal everywhere. Like, you'll be able to have any type of gun you want because will be getting taken like 24. I was about to say took. It's not even gonna get taken. It's gonna get took. Straight hood stuff. All right. If you have gold on you and the world's coming to end, you need your gold as a store of value, it's getting took. Even right now, using gold as a store of value, after a certain point where you don't house it yourself, you don't really know. And that's the power of Bitcoin. You do really know. This is yours. You own the private keys. You can see it. The software's there. The blockchain is transparent. With gold, you don't know. Like, literally, you're not going to have $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 worth of gold in your house. And if you do, where are you going with it? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And then again, all these folks are going to outer space. I keep saying that you're not bringing gold into outer space. I thought that's where we were trying to go next, folks. I thought we were trying to conquer Mars, but we still talking about how we're going to fly in outer space with a whole shipment full of gold. It is not happening. But the Omega Advisors chairman and CEO said people should be careful about Bitcoin and suggested gold as a better store of value. You know, him and Peter Schiff were having a good old chuckle today. But by his own admission, Lee Cooperman still does not understand Bitcoin, despite being up more than 300% since early December 2017. Here's the thing about every time somebody pushes back against Bitcoin, you saw here live on the show, the real estate lady who's real estate's better and to make more money and and Bitcoin doesn't make sense and it doesn't. And the only question I really asked was like, have you even read the white paper? And she's like, no. I'm like, you haven't done the first thing this community asks everyone, no matter who you are, to do, so you can understand the project. You haven't read an 8-page summary and 1 9th page of references, yet you're supposed to be giving people financial advice. That's irresponsible. And as a billionaire in charge of this fund, to me, that's like market manipulation when they keep doing this. We're not calling it that, but essentially, could you imagine if I was a billionaire and I came out and was like, Tesla still don't make sense. Like, y'all should really be on this gas-powered cars tip. Like, the environment is fine. Like, they would call me out. They'd be like, you're lying, market manipulation, corruption. But instead, we're just watching the traditional sector come out and do this one at a time. But again, I want to point out, by his own admission, he doesn't understand Bitcoin. Again, this is a billionaire who is the chairman and CEO of Omega Advisors. Who in the hell is letting this guy advise them after he comes out and says, I still don't even understand Bitcoin? Like, you're looking at the fastest and largest growth assets the planet has ever seen happening in front of our eyes. Bitcoin, as I said many times, he's like, what are you going to tell your kids 20 years from now when they was like, man, where were you at during this whole gold rush? Like, where were you at during the Bitcoin and crypto? Like, you just watched it happen. You just watched it happen. Like, Bitcoin, I can understand, is still slipped by a lot of people's radars. Even then, we always say you can dollar cost average, $1 a day, keep buying Bitcoin. But the fact that so many other projects have been blossoming throughout the years is like, really, you're really that bullheaded. But again, that's the problem. You know, honestly, that's the problem with a lot of regulators, the government, a lot of CEOs in our country, I can only speak for, is that they won't even take the time to understand something and they'll shut it down. This is a cultural problem we have to stop. This is crazy. It makes zero sense. But speaking to CNBC on Thursday, the billionaire investor alluded to people his age having a hard time understanding Bitcoin, adding, I'd be very careful with Bitcoin. I don't think it makes a great deal of sense. And if you are nervous about the world, gold to me would be a better place to store value. First of all, so I don't even know how old he is. Got to look this up right now. But very offensive. Very offensive, people. Listen, our crypto warriors, when we did the survey in Poland, we were making our jokes. The older crowd stood up. They was like, hey, slow down. We've been in crypto and tech before you was wet behind the ears. So I would say to this billionaire Cooper the same thing. You talking about people your age having a hard time understanding crypto or Bitcoin? It's like, no, it's actually untrue. For one, I want to look up his name, Lee Cooperman, billionaire age. I want to look up his age before I talk. But if he's anything, let's see. Oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, he up there. Oh, hold on, I gotta take this back now. All right. He was born in 1943. But still, it's people his age who are understanding it. But I do get what he's saying. He's like, hey, will your grandma understand it? where there's Granny Crypto in the space. I know she's on Clubhouse. We have a lot of older people in the space too. But by and large, I still disagree with them. Like, it still doesn't make much sense, because it's like saying, you know, we find out about a new health benefit, and it's like, well, people my age wouldn't understand it. People my age wouldn't understand the vaccination. Are you out there saying that, Lee Cooperman? People your age would have a hard time understanding the brand new vax? It's like, no, they taking it because people telling them the health benefits of it, right? This is the same thing with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and technology. Is literally easy enough to read and understand. You just take the time to do it. So I do think anyone over the age of 15 to 17, they took their time to sit down and read it, they can understand it. As it says here, Bitcoin has delivered over 300,000% returns in the last decade, while gold's 10-year returns recently flipped negative. At the time of this writing, gold's 10-year price performance sits at a negative 3%. Gold's 10 years price performance sits at a negative 3%, and Bitcoin is over 300%, 300,000%. And this guy is still arguing for gold. Makes zero sense. But other than that, as we are still looking at some of these stories, let's go ahead and bring in Reggie Middleton. Reggie, we just lost him. So Reggie, if you're still there, if you can call in, love to have you on right now when you can. I'll take a peek at the comments, see if we can get Reggie back on. Let's see, Janine Widemere said, just like the real estate chick, you should get this Lee Cooperman gold guy on FBF and take him to school. Listen, we do need to get him on air. I know these types, though. I highly doubt they'll show their teeth. They like to come on and play coy. It's like, oh, I'm just an old man. I don't know what's going on. Like, just gold. It's like, no, you know what's going on in these streets. Because listen, you got to be incredibly smart to be able to keep $1 billion, right? To keep multi-millions of dollars. Is the easy part I hear is getting it. I hear the hard part is actually keeping it. So he know what he's talking about. Let's see. PFC Wells said, literally just said that on the Black Blockchain Summit education segment. Said truth is that you can't save everyone. Let's see. Keone Mason, gold price is controlled. That's a whole YouTube channel in itself. Exactly. That's why I didn't want to go into gold, because it's like, come on, people still screaming gold. That makes zero sense. Okay, we got Reggie coming on really quick. Thank you for the tip. Bitcoin Benito, Isaiah was coming for non-believers next. On Fox Business News, I was dying laughing. Mommy, why did you choose to be broke? Did he say that on Fox News? Mommy, why did you choose to be a brokey? Oh, man, I got to watch this segment again. That's crazy. I got to watch the segment. Reggie, welcome back to the show. How you doing today, Reggie Middleton?
Hey, hold for 1 second. Let's get the going.
No problem. And yes, and Karina Laura said, hey, these dodongos dislike the smoke. This is Zelda reference. I meant to wear the hat today. You know it. Reggie, can you hear me today?
Yes, I can.
How you doing today?
All right.
So what you got for us, Reggie? We gotta hear about this SEC versus Coinbase. I saw you in the comments yesterday. You said it might be smarter for them to go on the offensive. That's what Mark Cuban said as well. Please help us understand why it would be smart for companies like Coinbase or companies being attacked by the SEC to go on the offensive instead of playing the defense. Isn't that pretty costly? We got you, Reggie.
Okay. I am shifting off of hold for 1 second.
No problem. They said, Reggie, always taking an anonymous walk around the block. Hey, Reggie said, I ain't gonna be in my house talking crypto no more. They ain't got me once, baby. Reggie said, I'll talk to y'all in the woods about this.
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me, Reggie?
Yeah.
They said, they said Reggie gonna take you on the ocean before y'all have talks. He gonna make sure you wired up, son. All right. But yes, SEC going after Coinbase. Coinbase being of course, Mark Cuban made comments saying, hey, you guys need to go on the offensive instead of the defensive. What are your thoughts on all that? And why would that make sense? That didn't make too much sense to me at first. So what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, well, there's but so much I could say about the SEC because I'm not geared up to handle them and they're aggressive, but I could go through strategy. I also want to discuss Leon Cooperman, gold, and Bitcoin as well. So,
hell yeah, let's get it, Reggie.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
What you want to go for the first?
Let's go. Let's talk about, all right, we'll talk about Lee Cooperman since we're on this Lee Cooperman billionaire in gold. And I know your project, Very Tasty, and you're also all about gold and minerals and putting that on the tokenizing now on the blockchain from what I remember. So yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on all that.
Well, the SEC pretty much put much of the kibosh on that, but let's first start with understanding and semantics. So Leon Cooperman's problem is he admits that he doesn't understand it. That's a plus, right? It's compared to guys who just bash it, right? He's saying he doesn't understand it, hence he shouldn't be in it. You should not be into anything that you don't understand, okay? The reason why he doesn't understand it, I think, and the reason why a lot of people bash it is because of some young reporter or older reporter. And they said that Bitcoin was a currency. Bitcoin is not a currency. Bitcoin is a network. It's a platform, okay? Bitcoin is no more a currency than the internet is. If you compare Bitcoin to the internet, you have a much more astute understanding of A, what it is, and B, what it's capable of. If you think of it as a currency, well, then you're misled, number one. Good morning. And number two, you're gonna have a significant problem in evaluating its prospects. Comparing Bitcoin to the US dollar is useless in my opinion. It's like comparing.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. And I hate doing the Bitcoin price every day because it's like, it doesn't make sense to be real, but.
And you know, pricing is one thing, but a lot of people are conflating price and value. Like I keep telling the Hex crowd, you know, price is one thing, value is another. Same thing with Bitcoin. So pricing in US dollars, okay, you have to keep score, but attempting to value it by comparing it to US dollars, that's like valuing the internet, comparing it to a US dollar. Or worse yet, an IP packet, internet packet, internet protocol packet compared to US dollar. It's useless, okay? Most of the value in Bitcoin, if Bitcoin were to ever reach Satoshi's dream, if I were to be so bold as to presume what his dream was, most of the value in Bitcoin will be in using the network and not in hoarding Bitcoin. So right now, all the value or most of the value in Bitcoin is hoarding Bitcoin. To illustrate how far off the mark Cooperman, et cetera, are, and to Cooperman's credit, the man said he didn't understand it, so you can't bash him but so much, right? Comparing Bitcoin to gold is ridiculous. Again, some reporter came up with that a while back, saying Bitcoin's the new gold. It's ridiculous. You said that gold, and I just came in the show recently. You said gold had point something percent return over the last 10 years. But gold is not an investment.
Last 10 years it was negative 3% from what it looked like from the article stated.
Right, and that's in US dollars, okay? Gold is not an investment. Gold is a hard currency hedge, okay? So you don't invest in gold to make money, right? You put money in gold to prevent yourself from losing money in fiat terms. Okay.
It's like a stable coin. It shouldn't go up or down. It could stay at 0% for all someone cares the next 10% as long as it's right there for sure.
Right. And stable coins are also misnomers. So a US dollar stable coin is stable to the US dollar. Okay, so its goal is, like you said, not to lose value relative to the US dollar. But calling it a stable coin in general is also, you know, it doesn't make sense. One of the most unstable things to invest in is the US dollar, because by design, it loses value. It's not stable, right? 95% of US dollar purchasing power has been lost since its inception. And that's been done by design. That's why we got on the gold standard. We got on the gold standard because it was advantageous for the US to be on the gold standard, because Europe was burning each other up, like Europe tends to do, okay? Multiple world wars. And so the US financed the war, okay, assisted in the war, sent machinery, bullets, etc., built clothes, everything, sent agriculture and foodstuffs, and in exchange for that, and lent money to Europe. Did all this to allow Europe to burn itself up. And what did they take in as collateral? Gold. So of course the US decided to go on the gold standard because gold was plentiful. When the US had to inflate the dollar, gold was getting in the way because it was very difficult to inflate gold. So they broke off the gold standard to inflate the dollar. So the dollar's value is decreased by design. And that's why gold makes a very, very good dollar inflation hedge, because over time, if the dollar deflates, you can't deflate gold at the same rate you deflate the dollar. What does this have to do with Bitcoin? Absolutely nothing. This is why those who compare gold to Bitcoin don't get it. Bitcoin's a network like the internet, Okay, the packets that goes through the network are Bitcoins, the little b. The network is Bitcoin with a big B. Now, very few, I think, participants in this industry adhere to this paradigm, but
I say people don't know that. Now, you are correct about that. There is a very big difference between Bitcoin's B's for those who are listening, the big B and the little b. Thank you for pointing that out. You are absolutely correct, but a lot of people, like I would say 95% of people do not understand those differences you just said.
And understanding those differences makes a big difference as time goes on. I remember I was on your show. I think we were discussing the time when I was rebutting Richard Hart, okay? And I was giving my future for crypto. And you said, what does Bitcoin have to do with this? I said, Bitcoin's not even in the picture. Well, now Bitcoin is in the picture. And now I'm very, very bullish on Bitcoin.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's what I was going to ask as well, really quick. When this argument comes up against, again, you can't compare gold and Bitcoin, but people are conflating the two. So when it comes to, okay, you have your portfolio, how much goes to gold, if any, and how much goes to Bitcoin right now, from Reggie's opinion?
You know, with all due respect, anybody that answers that question without knowing your particular circumstances, cash flow needs, risk tolerance, etc., is either ignorant or lying to you.
There we go, Reggie.
I'm not ignorant or lying to you, so I'm not going to go that way. But you didn't ask me why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin now.
Well, I was going to ask you though, because people are in the comments already talking about trendy guidance. That Reggie just said he's very bullish on Bitcoin. That was the next question. Why are you bullish on Bitcoin?
You're not going to like this one, because now I can definitively confirm that the Lightning Network totally infringes upon our patent. I came up with the Lightning Network, or actually one of my partners came up with it early in 2014. Okay, so we had to go through the analysis, get the proofs done, right? Reggie Middleton created the basis of the Lightning Network, and it is one of the strongest infringers of the patent that we came up with since. Since I can control much of the Lightning Network from an IP perspective, my original plans for peer-to-peer value transfer look very, very strong. For instance, El Salvador, okay? Do you know how much Western Union currently charges an El Salvadorian to send money back and forth from the States, Europe, etc.?
I'm scared. You talking about how much they charge on the dollar?
They don't even charge on the dollar. If I'm not mistaken, they reduce their prices, but it's still a flat rate of X dollars plus a percentage of what you send. And it's seemingly illegal to me, you know, the same as usually, but what do I know about money remittance laws, okay? Now, the Lightning Network, as we all know, allows you to do it for a very small percentage and relatively quickly, right? We take the Lightning Network and we combine it with one of our other inventions, the value transfer. I call it swap, but swap is a bad term and not necessarily indicative of what happens. And we can now have the El Salvadorians exchange Bitcoin, and those who are concerned about receiving it can lock it into the US dollar rate. So now you have the best of all worlds, okay? You have US dollar stability, you have sub-penny transfer time, costs, rates, and you have near instantaneous transfer, right? This is El Salvador. Other countries who have a problem with the USD hedge money would be foolish not to adopt this. And even if they don't adopt it, right, the private sector should adopt it without the sovereign assistance, but there's no reason why the sovereign shouldn't do it. You could take the US dollar lock, and you could lock into any currency you want or any commodity. So Saudi Arabia can lock into their crude prices. You could have South Africa lock into gold prices. You know, you could have lock into commodities, lock into a particular currency, etc. This is very easy to set up, very easy to implement. And now I can control and guide much of it, because from a IP law perspective, I should be in control unless everybody wants to resist and fight. And I don't think, well, they should, because I'm offering a solution that is better than everything out there. And it's on the most prominent network available. Currently, we can't say that's going to last, and that was Bitcoin. I can tell you without a doubt, Ethereum is overtaking Bitcoin in almost every metric except for media mind share. And that's not really where it counts. But now Bitcoin will be able to compete with Ethereum. Full smart contracting ability and everything else. Coming up soon, and I'll show you. That's why I'm bullish on Bitcoin now.
I was gonna say between you saying that and then we had Jimmy Song on recently, hearing Jimmy's thoughts, which was somewhat similar as far as some of his bullish sentiments. I'm glad to hear you say that. I was going to ask you something. I'm looking at these comments. I was looking at these comments as people are asking questions as well. People are saying they got to go back and absorb. Bohemian Garbage said this would be on replay to absorb some of this golden info for sure. Reggie seen the writing on the wall. All these little countries about to go switch to Bitcoin. So that's what I was kind of talking about earlier. And here's the thing. Even when it comes to your claim on the Lightning Network, for one, first question, would Charlie Lee, would he be involved in that anyway, technically?
Not that I know of. I don't know Charlie Lee, so I know of him, but I don't know him personally.
Okay.
The issue with the IP, for some reason, maybe is I don't look as good as some of the other, rock stars and crypto, but a lot of people seem to be very offended when I say I invented something. Well, somebody had to invent it, and I did. So anybody who has a doubt, pull the patent up and read it. Okay? If you can't understand what the claims say, then by default, you shouldn't be challenging it. And if you can't understand what the claims say, it speaks for itself. It's really just that simple.
My question for you is, and I would say, of course, it's worth it, but it's an uphill battle. Because my thing is, it's almost like when we invaded Iraq and then the whole Afghanistan war, weapons of mass destruction. We still haven't, as a nation, acknowledged there were no weapons of mass destruction. And George Bush Jr. lied to us so that he could go fight a war for his daddy, that his daddy ain't finished, and they own oil companies. And that's also why it took so many years for electric cars to start to blossom, because under George Bush Jr., he did not want electric cars to go forward. So when it's stuff like that is just right, to me, it just seems seemingly obvious, out and open, but no one seems to care. We still did a 20-year war. It was like the movie with Matt Damon, The Green Zone, where finally at the end, he's like, we can prove these lies. And the other country is like, the US know these are lies. They don't want to prove it. Like, this is what they want. So with that being said, already knowing how our regulators are moving and what our government wants, what type of battle and I guess expectations do you have on these claims? Once you make it out there, once you put it out there and start to move forward.
Hold for 1 second.
No problem.
I lost my puppy.
No problem. While we're waiting, I asked some comedy. Peter Beach said, "You the Soldier Boy of crypto," because Soldier Boy is somebody invented all these rappers. But hey, he's true. So hey, Drake did take that soldier line though, people. Drake took the soldier line. What Soldier Boy said, he had Migos on the couch. It is what it is. It ended up being that Soldier Boy was not lying. He was actually telling the truth. So it is what it is. Let's see. Trinity Guidance said King is talking reckless about the government. He must have a whole lot of Bitcoin. I mean, between the Bitcoin, you all keep forgetting. I've said it many times. I used to be gang too, people. I was an officer in the military. I did 2 deployments. I could talk how I want about. I could be critical of our government. Like, that's okay. Government know I love them. They know I'm here. I'm part of the gang. It is what it is. But I have that right. I did 2 deployments. I have that right to be critical. I'm going to use that right for sure.
Okay, so what was being said now?
So the question to you is, all right, this is an uphill battle. Let's say you can prove your claims.
Okay, so freeze right there. Freeze right there. This is not an uphill battle.
Okay.
The invention is very, very clear. The patents are written in black and white. It's issued by a patent agency, one of the strongest in the world. What you believe, what you want to be true, and what is the truth are not always corollary. Now, you're not being objective if you don't want to believe it simply based upon the person that delivers the message. Then if you're an investor, you need to check that. Okay? So anybody who has a doubt, right, Google the name, read the patent.
Reggie Middleton,
just that simple.
There it is. Okay, now really quick, I do want your thoughts about going on the offensive with the Coinbase versus SEC thing. Mark Cuban chimed in. I thought that was a good move to finally see Mark Cuban offering like quality advice to the crypto space from his area of expertise. So what are your thoughts about that? As much as you can say, at least the strategy.
Okay, well, unlike Mark Cuban, I'm not going to offer legal advice or advice in general. Mark Cuban, if you're not familiar, Mark Cuban, if I'm not mistaken, was charged with insider trading by the SEC, and he decided to fight it out, and he won. The SEC rarely loses. Number one, they pick cases that they feel they can win, and number two, they don't necessarily, in my opinion, have to have a strong meritorious case because they have significant resources that your typical crypto startup can't come close to matching. Ripple apparently is a different story. If you're following the Ripple case, Ripple is doing very, very well. Okay, but everybody, let's take the SEC out of this. So I'm not talking about the SEC. So it can never be said that that Reggie said XYZ about the SEC. Let's say a governmental agency, not even in the US, right? But in a jurisdiction that has laws like the US. If a government agency were to approach King Bless and say, we are looking into you and your business and your practices. King Bless has two ways of looking at things.
I'm doing a race. It's the third way. I'm out here like them youngins, man. We out in a different state, different country, baby. No, it's
okay.
Well, crypto close. No, I'm kidding.
With certain government agencies, it doesn't matter what state because they're federal.
That's true.
And with others, it doesn't matter what country. They can reach out and touch. I can tell you from personal experience. They reach out, they contact a foreign power. That foreign power panics because of the power.
Arthur Hayes, BitMEX. Hey, we need him to come through.
I'm not speaking names. I'm not even speaking actual agencies. I'm just telling you in general. In general, okay? So you have two choices. You can give them everything they want, right? When they ask for it. And one reason to do that is because you believe you didn't do anything wrong. And if you didn't do anything wrong, well, then why in the world should you fight? But if you're under the impression that even though you did not do anything wrong, they're going to come after you anyway, then you're wasting a lot of your time and resources by dealing with them in their domain. This is not about the SEC, right?
Right. In general, any regulatory body in general, different countries.
Right? Certain regulatory agencies in certain countries have a set of rules and laws that adhere to them. Let's say in administrative proceedings, right? Where they have almost all the power, you have no power. So they can subpoena the size of your grandmother's bra, and you have to produce it, right? And that's where a lot of the money is spent, right? Responding to subpoenas, dealing with depositions, management time, actual dollars, legal time, stress, diversion from the business, et cetera. Easily run up millions or tens of millions of dollars, right? Going through that. And then after all that, after they get all their evidence on a fishing expedition, basically for free, because you can't stop it, you can't deny it. There is no judge for you to go to. But if you do go to a judge, it's an administrative judge, not a civil court judge. Then after all that, they send you a notice to say, we're about to sue you. So guess what? If you have to fight them, do you know what you need to do? You need to go through that whole process again. And they have an advantage because they've subpoenaed and got all this information from you. You can't get anything from them. So now you have to start over from scratch. So if you spent $8 million through the administrative proceedings and they decide to sue you, now you're in civil court and you got to go through it again. Okay? The difference is in civil court, you have rights. You can actually subpoena that particular party. You can tell that the judge, that particular party's request is overbroad or irrelevant. You can object, you can do X, Y, and Z. But by the time you get to the point where you have rights, you're exhausted, you're low on money, okay? And they have an advantage because they got everything, you have nothing. So if you think that particular agency from another country, right, in another set of jurisdictions is going to come after you anyway, why give them an advantage in their home court when you can go first round?
I get you. Why give them round one when you can might as well? I get it. Why give them round one? It was like, no, you might as well come out fighting from the jump. This is going to be. I got it.
And it's not even about fighting, right? You want to be in an arena where you have equal rights.
Okay.
So I wasn't discussing the SEC.
No, for sure. No. Yeah.
But if you look at Ripple, right, and their SEC litigation, they've made many requests from the SEC, and their requests seem to be quite damning, don't they?
Right.
Is Ripple security? Is Ether security? What was said during this speech? That's not possible if you're in another country with another jurisdiction, another agency besides the SEC. That's not possible. That agency gets to ask all the questions. You get to bend over and ask and answer all the questions, period. So if you know it's going to be a fight from the get-go, then get in a ring where you can put your hands up as well.
You know what? Two last quick questions for you, Reggie. First and foremost, how does it? I mean, what are your thoughts on the? I don't know what to call it. I call it the overreach of regulatory bodies internationally, because my thing with, regardless what agency, whether you're talking about United States regulatory agencies, Russia's, China's, it's the fact that they're all saying essentially the same thing. We own rights to this, we own rights to that, we own rights to this. Like ICO is legal here, it's illegal there, it's illegal there. And it's like, well, how do we know who to pay, who to tax, what regulatory guidelines to follow? Is it about which country you're a citizen of? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, they're not all saying the same thing. The top economic powers are all saying the same thing, almost all of them.
Right.
But
for
there's
sure.
one that's not. Japan.
Yeah.
Japan has, you could go look up their ICO laws and their crypto law. It's written black and white, not plain English. It's written in Japanese, but you can easily get it translated over to English. That's why Japan is booming. Japan is going to be easily one of the preeminent economic crypto jurisdictions in the world, easily. Because not only are they clear rules written down beforehand, not only do they try to regulate by legislation versus litigation, but they're the world's third largest economy. And they're the second largest crypto economy, larger than the EU. Japan is one small island nation. The EU or the EZ is 44 nations. Add all those together and they can't beat Japan. So if you had a choice.
You just muted yourself by mistake, Reggie. Look, somebody's pulled up on Reggie in the street. Oh, turn off the phone. Like, you ain't supposed to be here right now. Can you hear me, Reggie? He's muted. All right, well, Reggie's muted.
Okay, hold on.
I thought somebody pulled up on you, Reggie. Yep.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. Yes, you can hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So if you had a choice of doing business in the US, and let's not be mistaken, they're not just picking on small undercapitalized ICOs. Coinbase, which just went public, right? Loads of venture capital funding, right? And $60 billion or was $60 billion valuation, right? Has just been approached and, according to the CEO, picked on by the SEC. Ripple, Veritasium, Telegram, Kick.
Yeah, Telegram caught it. Kick caught it. Yep, Telegram and Kick caught it. They thought they was going, hey, Telegram thought they were about to skate off to the rainbow, end of the rainbow and the pot of gold. Government was like, hold up. You said you got how many $1 billion in how many minutes? Like, nah, bro. Nah, I'm gonna need some. I'm gonna need my taste of that, baby.
BitMEX. And if you take a look at BitMEX, it's interesting. And I'm not opining upon guilt or innocence, if those apply to civil or whatever. But I don't believe BitMEX was doing anything different from Huobi, from Binance. As a matter of fact, Binance copied BitMEX's documents over.
I was just about to say Binance copied BitMEX, a lot of that. Binance is BitMEX 2.0.
Right. They copied the documents with such precision, they copied the typos over.
Hilarious.
So even the typos were in there. And I know this because the BitMEX perpetual swap was my idea. Okay, so I'm following this very, very closely. But what was BitMEX doing that Binance and Huobi and all the other foreign and Asian exchanges, what were they not doing that BitMEX was doing? As far as I can see, nothing. Okay, so you have to look very closely. And I'm not saying, what they did something or didn't do something. I'm just saying, take a look at how the entities are targeted and see if you could draw a common thread between all of them. Okay, they all threaten one group. Coinbase is complaining because they can't launch a lending product according to the SEC through Federal Wells notice, but they said that others such as Compound and Aave, et cetera, PancakeSwap are allowed to offer a lending product. Okay, now I think that the CEO of Coinbase is upset and angry. And trust me, I've been there. Okay, so I know exactly where it's coming from. But there's a strong chance that everybody else got a threat of a Wells notice and a Wells notice as well. So let's just keep that in mind. But what happens when all this intellectual capital, right, leaves the US, as long as all these private keys, and when the private keys leave the US and the technology, that's a direct threat to our security. Right? They're not going to go to China. They're not going to go to the EU. They may go to Switzerland, but Japan is sitting pretty. And you're
really
not giving up much money by going to Japan, because the largest banks in the world, I'd say at least 10 to 30% of the largest banks in the world are Japanese banks.
I mean, I'll just be clear. I love Japan, Tokyo. I was just talking about it the other day. And thank you. I was about to ask him as well. I didn't want to cut you off. And see, hey, that's what I'm talking about. Way to be professional. Richard Hart is in the chat. He says, do you want to talk to Richard live?
Do I want to talk to him?
Yeah.
I mean, he could talk to me. I don't have anything to say, but I'm open for conversation.
You heard it, Richard. If you want to call in, feel free to call in. We'll see if he call in. Alec, let me know. Thank you for the tip. Sergeant Crypto, BitMEX was started by a black man. Yes, sir. Arthur Hayes. My last question for you, depending on if he calls in or not, we'll see. But my last question for you was, someone asked Leroy Forbes, did you ever find your puppy? Did you find your puppy?
Yeah, I did.
The puppy is safe, everyone. Yeah. No worries.
I got a brand new African Mastiff.
Oh, you got a big boy. So,
yeah, all I do is big boys.
Listen, speaking of big boy, like literally as I said that word, Richard said, put your big boy pants on, Reggie. Here I come.
Okay. Tell me, come on. Because you all know Richard said he was big, right?
The show just got extended today, folks. Listen, we better get these likes up, or I swear I will X out this window right now. There's 250 people watching, 167 likes. If I don't see at least 225 likes here before Richard comes on, I'm pressing X. I'm gonna give me some breakfast and start drinking. So you all is in your hands, Warriors. You go ahead and click some links. But let's see what's going on. No, honestly though, I would love to hear both of your thoughts on competing topics. And the reason why is because you're both OGs in the space. You've been around. You create a ton of things, which I'm well aware of and know. Richard's starting his creation of things as it goes now. And of course, his community is crazy. But we shall see if let's see what's going on. Is Richard calling in? We shall see. Judah Toon said Hex is going to hit $1 after this. You better hope so, because Reggie knows what he's talking about too. Hex might go down after this, so y'all better be careful.
Remember, price doesn't equal value, my friend.
Listen, Jay-Z just said the same thing. Okay, here we go. Looks like yep. Okay, yep, it's pinned to the top of the chat. I'm not sure we got it. Other than that, Reggie, I will ask, are there any other projects you're working on right now, or are you just working on the claims to DeFi to make sure that bridge is built?
Well, the claims to DeFi are a project. To put this in perspective, because a lot of people think, oh, you want to be a patent troll. No, of course not. I have 100 weaknesses, and some of them are big. And there are certain things I'm really just not good at. Some things I'm just bad at. But one thing I'm very good at is strategic planning and strategy and building things. That's the strength of mine, which makes up for a lot of my weaknesses. And so what a lot of people see as DeFi, like the Uniswaps and the Lightning Network and compound lending, etc. These ideas that I came up with, or my team and I, to be fair, came up with in 2013 and 14. Okay, that was between 6 and 7 years ago. Okay, do you think the industry could benefit from somebody seeing technology, strategy, financial products 6-7 years into the future and implementing them now? The answer is yes.
I said, we're on your side. Between your project and then getting shut down and Paxos launching with essentially the same project. I mean, I remember that day live. We was like, yeah, they launched the same project.
Actually, everybody launched it as soon as I got shut down. But and that project didn't get shut down, but I don't want to discuss it in detail. But it's difficult. A lot of the traditional players don't want to do business with you after the SEC has made XYZ allegation. Let me remind everybody, I was never adjudicated of doing anything wrong. Nothing at all. I never admitted or denied doing anything wrong. Okay? The only thing that happened was the SEC pointed a finger and called me names. Okay? And, that's what happened with many of the, not all, but many of the ICOs, the big ones, such as Telegram and Kick, etc. Kick actually got off. Actually, almost everybody seemed to have gotten off better than I did, but I don't want to discuss it in detail. Maybe it's just my feelings. Maybe I'm just taking it personally,
You're super. I think it's like you're the first to the door type of deal. So they was like, get that one.
But I think they did me a favor though, because they caused me to focus ex-US and purely on IP. And you'll see as time goes on. I don't know if the media will report on it or will not, but I will make it known through my social media when it's appropriate. But extremely big things are coming down the pike. Extremely big things. And playing in the IP arena where hopefully IP is not a security as well. We don't know, right? But as far as I know, intellectual property is just that. I get to play with a lot less regulatory overhang.
Nice. Well, Reggie, it looks like we got caught with maybe a fake burner account, so I'm gonna let you go unless you have something else. I don't think that was a real Richard Hart. I think that was a deep fake. That was one of the fakes out there. But of course, if he ever calls in, he's more than welcome. That's why I figured that probably isn't him. But again, thanks for being on today, Reggie. Truly appreciate all your comments and insight.
Okay, no problem. And just for the record, I doubt very seriously Richard Hart would debate me in public. But he's more than welcome to if he could. If he wants to, I'm here. He knows how to reach me. We could do it on his platform or mine. Okay, but I wouldn't hold my breath for that.
There it is, folks. Hexicans, you heard it. If you can set it up, move forward. But other than that, again, Reggie, sincere thank you for being on. And people, I agree with definitely agree with what you just last stated. Love him or hate him, Reggie was in this space doing this before all of these companies and people. Period. So there is value there in and of itself. I agree with you on that. As far as your vision to see what's happening next in this space or what's to come. So shout out to Reggie Middleton again for being here. We truly appreciate it, and we definitely don't take this for granted. So thanks again.
Okay, thank you very much, my brother.
For sure. Take care. Take care. All right. Okay, again, goodbye. If anybody else has any smoke to call in, please feel free. Whoever that fake Hex account was, this is why people don't like y'all some days. Like, y'all be playing games, all right? Whoever that one was, there it is. So we got a couple more minutes left on the show. Jams, if you want to call in, somebody say you made a 70% prediction somewhere along those lines, feel free. But if not, we're going to jump on these last couple of stories. Oh, Eastside Tony, go ahead and call. Let's go ahead and link Eastside Tony up really quick. As we wait for Eastside Tony, I will briefly want to cover this Sotheby's auction, 101 Bored Apes NFT auction at Sotheby's. Thank you, Crypto Warriors, for getting me together on that word. Closes at more than $24 million. This is crazy to see, but it looks like Yuga Labs auction off collections of Bored Ape Yacht Club and Bored Ape Kennel Club NFT that generated $24 million and $1.83 million, respectively. This is a big story because this is one of the biggest auctions of a NFT or NFTs. And again, that price was 24.39 million. So again, that's kind of crazy. I mean, I say kind of, that is literally crazy, where it says the minimum price looks like is about $135,000 for these Bored Ape Yacht Clubs. But I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Would you pay a couple $100,000 for this? I agree. I think it was Jimmy or somebody who said this is the new rich kid flex in the crypto market. I really do believe that because, I mean, $24 million is hot, but what's the resale value on it? That's crazy. I don't know. Eastside Tony, what's going on, man? How you been? What's the word? You're muted right now as well.
How's it going, man? I'm just mining dirty fiat.
There we go.
So yesterday I saw that the IRS was proposing to change the $10,000 fee or I guess tracking requirements down to $600. And I decided to call in. I actually used this as an argument a couple months back because I know a guy that basically got set up by the feds. He got sent more than $10,000 and they put him away for being a legal money transfer. And this was through local Bitcoins.
So yeah, so here's the thing about local Bitcoins. Man, for one, local Bitcoin has been the Fed. So we threw out that bird call, I believe it was in I think it was in 2017, 2018. Yeah, we saw
this was 2016 when he got popped. So it
was man, they did it even before. Yeah. So yeah, it does. So first to answer the $600 thing, that's something it's like an ongoing thing. I know right now they're definitely trying to aggressively go after that. I think we saw something earlier this year where it also said something like any transaction over like $900 for certain things will be flagged too. So they're definitely trying to make it so that they can see every transaction because again, our government wants to be private and they want our citizens to be public when we should be private and our government should be public. So that certainly is happening. It's crazy that he got caught up with local Bitcoins. back then, because for the most part, he must have provided too much information. I was on it in 2016, 2017 as well, but it wasn't until 2017 where they started having people do more AML KYC. And then it kind of, I think they actually sent out an email. It was like, hey, yeah, we working with the government basically. But it's, I mean, you know where I stand. It's messed up. But it's also one of those things where it's really going to be up to every individual to decide the greater good. And it's, if you want ease and things to be easy, and you just want to, like, again, it's a lot of these Ned Flanders, they like listening to hall monitors. They like a hall monitor right there to say, you go left, you go right, you go back, you go forward. Some people like that hall monitor, but it's going to be up to each individual to say, no, I'm gonna go whatever direction I want. Like, I got an iPhone. I know I got maps on my phone. I don't need you to tell me where to go. So I think that's what we're going to see here. It's going to be up to more people to get into Bitcoin, to get into Monero, to get into cryptocurrency, and to push back against government entities. It's one of those things where it's only working. Like, and what's crazy is that the majority of the population don't even want regulators to do what they're doing. It's the bankers and people with resources and money who's putting these batteries in their back. So it's going to be up to retail investors, these unaccredited investors, who literally you're seeing in news media or every day where it's like, well, it's illegal. You know, the Coinbase lending, SEC is going after them because they're doing that for unaccredited investors. So it's up, again, I said it the other day, it's up for those people who are on the Coinbase platform, who are unaccredited investors, retail investors, to say, no, launch that motherfucker. We're going to support you, and we're going to vote out people who try to not allow this to happen. So until we see that, which I don't know if we ever will actually see it, I think that the government, $600 is a little bit too low. I don't think it'll go that low.
That's everybody's paycheck, right? So everybody, I mean, not everybody.
I don't think it'll go that low, but I think they'll try. And it may be possible with the stablecoin future. If we do flip over to stable coins and the full-time crypto, that's where it might actually work. To now, you don't have to have a human behind it. You can have it put in an algorithm. If you see any transaction over 600, go ahead and send it up this way. So
yeah, it's a little suspect that it came out yesterday with the mandates. It started riling up again, right? All this mandate talk and this and that. So I'm like, what if that was just like the cover to slip this thing through? Okay, man, you settled my nerves, I guess.
Listen, buy more Bitcoin and Monero.
Always, man. Peace.
Eastside Tony, as always, thanks for calling in, man. Much appreciated. Thank you. Yes, Surreal Innovation said, hey, let's go ahead and have Gems come in. Surreal Innovation said, I really don't know why we continue to launch tech in such an unsupportive country. Yes, it is kind of crazy to see that we still do it here, even though it's terrible at times. All right, we got Gems calling in. Let's see. Ghost Nick says, straight facts. People have to start looking outside of other places because that's ridiculous. They set them up and put them in jail. How does that make sense? That is right. Hey, Gems, listen, Gems. Go ahead. We got to go. All right. I'm going to welcome Gems to the show with a hand clap, because I tell you all what, like I said, I don't fall in love with any of these projects, but I am a trader. I see the plays and I would jump on plays. Gems, you called the 4-cent hex here. You're the first person on our channel to really push the hex. You called it at 4 cent. Last week it hit 27 cents, and you came on the show last week and was like, hey, my prediction for next Friday is 40 cents. And it looked like by Monday afternoon, Monday night, Hex had already hit that 40 cent. I looked at it today and it looks like we're at 47 cent. Take it away, Jams. What's the word? What's going on here? Somebody said Jams said 70 cent is next. What's the word here, Jams?
So good morning to all the crypto warriors out there. Shout out to the crypto rascals that's been locking in with us on Crypto and Down. Yes.
Make sure you give us that link too and promote it at the end before you leave as well.
Absolutely, we'll do that. So I called for a 40 cent hex by today, this Friday. Currently, we're sitting at 48.5 cents.
I give people their flowers. You know that. Come on, hey, Jams called it, people.
But I had a personal prediction of 70 cents by the end of the month, and Nomic said, "Jams, you tripping?" Nomic says 77 cents by the end of next week.
I'm about to turn this show off. All right, I'm gone. Y'all have a good day.
Yeah, man. So 77 cents by the end of next week is the prediction from Nomics. And the fundamental reasons.
That was the question, my man Jams. There we go. I was ready. That's what I was saying. Got to ask. Go ahead.
Fundamental reasons. We still have not gotten the release date of the snapshot. So when the fork,
I'll give you that one. Okay.
So people are going to continue to buy up the remaining hex supply, which is about 50 million hex total on market to buy. And so that's going to continue to happen. And then the testnet in GitHub. Richard has hired a new developer who is supposed to be really good. He's making progress on the testnet. So we're still looking at the end of October, likely my prediction for the launch of the Pulse chain. So we're going to keep running all the way for the next couple of weeks, man. That we could, I saw someone say $1 by November, which is crazy.
I will say the fact that Bitcoin had two, I don't even really call them dips, small retracements. The fact that they did have the two small retracements, the entire market reacted with the exception of Hex. That was very good to see fundamentally. However, it still goes back to that legacy wallet. When will that number be that number to when people start to sell, including that Origin wallet? What are your thoughts on that? Does that worry you? Because let's say you do hit that $1 or on the Pulse chain launch, it's the time for everyone to sell, and that would be including the Origin wallet. And people say we're dumping. What are your thoughts on that? What would it do to the price? Would that make you feel uncomfortable as far as being staked in that project?
It would not make me feel uncomfortable, and the Origin address has given me no inclination that it would market sell. They're going to get the duplicate E-hex as P-hex after the fork occurs. So that sell pressure, I thought we would see it at 50 cents. We waked up to 50 cents. We did come back down to about 48. So that psychological level of $1, yeah, we're going to see some sell pressure there, just being open and honest about it. Everyone who's been in, such as like me, I was in under a penny, under half of a penny, to be honest. So $1 is a lot of price appreciation. So to leave all your money on that at that point would be pretty stupid. So any crypto warriors out there, Hex doubles every 55 days. And so take profits on the way up. Don't just leave all your money out there. Be risk averse.
Yeah, all right. I agree with that, and great analysis as well. Also, what was it? I was looking at something. I'm looking at the comments right now. Somebody's got with a good comment. Aaron said Hex seems to be the Bitcoin hedge. When Bitcoin dips, Hex pumps. I'm riding with you guys to $1. But Joe Mather said it's a Ponzi scheme. Congratulations on being early. So what do you say to those folks still?
Well, to the first point, I certainly agree that Hex has shown it is decorrelated from Bitcoin. The most recent dump, as you mentioned, King, proved that Hex is resilient when Bitcoin does pull back. That's because of the liquidity. 75% of the liquidity of Hex is paired to USDC, and the other 25% is paired to Ethereum. So you will have some pullbacks when Ethereum pulls back, but Bitcoin leads the market. Hex kind of does its own thing based on the USDC pair. As far as the Ponzi scheme, you can go to hex.com/scam and read all of the responses to Hex being a Ponzi scheme. You can search the globe. You'll not find one person who the Hex smart contract has scammed. Everyone who has purchased Hex pretty much to this point, unless you purchased at 50 cents, is in profit. If you've staked, your profit is even higher as you've received more Hex in return. So I really don't even listen to the Ponzi.
I'm about to get gems. I saw you do the show. I saw you do the Steph Curry on me just now.
Hey, so at this point, I don't even really listen to the haters, the scam, the Ponzi's, because the price is what it is. And there are thousands of stakers, now 55,000 stakers who are doing well.
Well, I know one other public staker. I think Ken Bozak actually stakes Hex, and he has like, I think he's up about $300,000 or $400,000 now that he posts publicly at least. So I do know there are some diehard stakers. He's saying the same thing. He's like, I'm gonna be a billionaire off this one day. I'm never selling it. So like you said, there are people in the space who don't plan to sell. But again, when it comes to the schemes and the scams and everything, folks out there, it is one of those things that I always say time will tell, because I saw somebody mention BitConnect. Even with BitConnect, we had a hard pushback against that, and that community came here and was like, you guys just don't want to get money and What I will say is I am not doing the staking part of it. but I've definitely been jumping in and out of Hex, and I mean, it is profitable. So as long as that remains the same. And then again, too, I'm all about our warriors. We have educated crypto warriors here. Jam said up to $1, then get ready to sell, or up until a post-chain launch and get ready to sell. So I'm actually with you on that, especially. So I had a small amount. I did increase that because of the last 2 Bitcoin retracements. When I saw it did stay on its own, I'm like, all right, let's see what happens, because I do agree with you. I think 70 cent at the rate it's pumping right now is very. Here's one thing. I think it can actually easily pump. It can easily double right now. I can go to 80. Another 6 to 8 weeks. I can even see that $1 myself. The question behind that for me is, it's such a psychological thing. Is once it hits $1, will it hit 30 cents the next night? Like, that's just my only thing about that.
I don't think it will, because of the percent of circulating supply that is staked and the percent that the OA holds. So of what's liquid, what's able to be sold, either some hexagons would have the emergency in stake, which would ultimately help me out as I'm staked and I would receive some of those penalties, or the price would barely fluctuate. Over the last few days, we've seen market sales of 500,000, 800,000, close to 1 million, and price blipped down and it was ate up immediately. So I think the demand is out there to actually support some of those psychological points where we will see sell action that we'll look back once we get to $3, $5, $10 and say, yeah, that was just a blip along the road.
Chavy said, I still don't trust it till I withdraw it, but so far it's better than my Tron investment from 2017. Someone said Hex Connect. Here's the last thing I'll say about the whole possible scam or not, or whatever. I will say this. Even if it were, let's say it was Hex Connect for real, in my opinion, not enough people know about it yet for it to be Hex Connect just yet. It would have to, the fervor would have to, because the BitConnect, the OneCoin or whatever, like some of the scams that have come out, like no offense to your all's community, but your community still doesn't have that size yet. Like some of the other scams that came out, you guys got to remember, BitConnect essentially started off the same way as far as price, but they went up to, I think, $400. Like when we're talking that Hex is at 200 or 300, I would almost believe it to be more of a Hex Connect then than I would now, as far as the scam capitulating. You know, the first in got their money, the rest before it blows up, and not just Hex, before any project blows up in their face as far as being a big scam. I think the community needs to be bigger. So that is a positive thing I say about Hex as well. For those people who are on the fence saying it's a scam, are you still early to the scam? Ask yourself that if you still have those type of thoughts about it. So, but regardless, I know your thoughts on it. You saying, hey, this thing is good as it gets. And Jams, again, I appreciate you coming back on, man. Like I said, Jams has been here since 4 cent Hex as far as publicly on our channel, and is at 47 cent right now. So we'll continue to watch as we do. What do you got for us, Jams?
One last point about your actual hodlers. So I like to look at the on-chain analysis.
Yeah, for sure.
There's only 230,000 hodlers, actual Hex wallets on Etherscan, but there are 590,000 Chainlink wallets. So that potential is huge and goes to your point precisely.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And that's essentially, that was what made me really jump on it. You know, not saying I actually bought it or anything, but you know, that's what made me start to look into it. Started to research it. Again, was the fact that, you know, I've been looking at since you've been talking about it, looking at Bitcoin, the retracement, seeing how it's still operating. Because I remember the first big Bitcoin dip actually a few weeks ago when you mentioned it, you was like, hey, Hex ain't dip. And I let it go. Then I was like, I'm still watching. But you're right. Yep. I think it was like at 14 or 15 cent, 18 cent.
15. Yep.
And now seeing it happen twice again recently. And even, you know, again, I go into some of these trades and go in these projects thinking the worst now. Like I do, as far as like, all right, whatever I put up, I could lose all this right now. But with that being said, I do that to mitigate risk. And when I look at risk, again, I look at your community still isn't that big. As you just talked about the wallets or the holders, it doesn't even amount to Chainlink, and Chainlink still isn't that big. So I do agree with you. I think the post-chain launch is definitely going to draw some interest. The big thing there will be, do you continue to buy up and buy more after post-chain, or do you sell right before post-chain launches? That would be the big decision there. But I'm with you. I think up until post-chain, there would definitely continue to be a buy up. And then depending on how that launch goes, and that would kind of determine its next 3 months, quarter after. But I'm definitely with you. And again, James, thanks for being on and sharing it. And where can everyone find you? You got your podcast going now?
Absolutely. Podcast channel is out there at Crypto and Down. We have not broken through the algorithms on YouTube yet, so you do have to filter and search for channel. So Crypto and Down, and then filter for channel. We're the first one there at the top.
CRYPTOANDOWN or 2Ds?
2D. So crypto space and space down, or on Twitter, we are Crypto and Down, 2Ds. And then on YouTube, click filter and then filter for channel, and we're the top one.
There you go. There you go. Okay, and we just putting that in the chat too. As always, James, thanks for being on. Let me know when we can make an appearance on your show as well. And
absolutely.
Hey, this thing hit 70 cents. We about to do you how Fox News do Bitcoin Zay. Like, we got to have James back in, our in-house Mexican contributor. Like I said, I do believe it is. And for those who may be getting into it or considering it, whatever, blah, 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 again, do not look at the 4 cent to 50 cent or 47 cent. Like, you missed that. That's over. You need to start looking at it from 50 cent forward to where it can go, and look at those percentage points first and foremost. And then for those who think they missed something, like, there's always stuff in the space. There's always a new coin, so you didn't miss anything. And even looking at, I was telling Alec that I was like, man, I was even like, damn, I would put this in when he said I would have had this much. But it's also like, well, I've been in other projects, I've done things in other projects, so I can't be banned. But again, after I think I officially jumped in around 22 or whatever, because I did like really take my second and third deep dive again. I was like, he's right, this thing is. And then when you came on last week again, did another one, I was like, all right, guess we're just gonna keep transferring until this. Hey, listen, people, this is the part about crypto. You make 80% of your money 20% of the time. If you see something to ride, you ride it immediately. Yep. You get in, you get your money, you get out, and you leave the profit in there as far as what you want to leave in there. But you do have to be aggressive when you see these moments. Like I said, I trusted your analysis and feedback. I did my own homework as well, and I jumped in on it. So if you're saying 70 cents, like I said, I still think it got some juice left in it as well. And I definitely had considered increasing that position the last couple of days. You know what I'm saying? I missed out on that DYDX. I had to pick it up somewhere. All right. Again, James, thanks for coming on. Much appreciated.
Appreciate you, bro.
All right, for sure. Joe Mather, thank you for the tip. Cheers for being the best in the game. Gentlemen of crypto, much appreciated. And last but not least, we'll end the day. This is a great Friday show as well. We'll end the day with this FTX Warriors thing. Of course, we know Steph Curry made that tweet the other day, essentially saying, hey, guys, I need some help in crypto. We should have known it was a partnership on the cuffs as he joins crypto exchange FTX as an ambassador. It looks like shortly after asking advice in the crypto game on Twitter, the Golden State Warriors all-star point guard struck a new deal as an ambassador for a crypto exchange. I highly doubt this was like the order of events where hey, guys, need help with crypto, FTX, you want to be an ambassador? Cool, we in here. I would assume like he was already an ambassador, and then hey guys, I need help with crypto. And then on that hype, then he announced, hey, I'm a partner with FTX. That makes a lot more sense. But regardless of how it happened, as you can see here on Twitter, Steph Curry, even having an NFT as his avatar, is now fully a part of the crypto game, as he has inked a long-term deal with FTX Trading Limited as a global ambassador. FTX serves as a trading platform for different cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, I know Bitcoin Zay doesn't want to go against Sam Bankman-Fried, stating about, the ties he has and connections and everything he's doing, how he's moving. However, these moves, these are eerily similar to Tron and XRP moves. If you remember, Tron had Kobe Bryant at events. They were doing this, they were doing that. You had XRP, you have Ellen doing singing and dancing. You have what's the guy, the actor and his wife who just launched the High Cats, whatever. So XRP and Tron had a very similar marketing plan that FTX is going. Now, the difference is that FTX is actually putting their name on real estate. Miami Arena is FTX is now, right? They're sponsored. They're doing bigger sponsorships. However, the playbook is kind of similar. So to me, I'm not saying that it means it's the same, but it does give me that eerie feeling because it's just like, I mean, this is cool. This is all about mass adoption. This is good. But it's like, are these actual players in the crypto space? So I don't know. But again, this is breaking. Steph Curry agreed to a long-term deal with FTX official, becoming a global ambassador for the crypto exchange. Curry will also receive an equity stake in the company as part of the deal, joining Tom Brady as a shareholder. Wow. I mean, hand clap to Steph Curry. Definitely one of my favorite NBA players out there. He's like the most entertaining player for me to watch. Like, I love his game. So shout out to Steph Curry. I think it'll definitely bring not only more people to crypto. I mean, this is a double base hit, right? Like this is a double. It's going to bring more people to crypto who are in the NBA crowd. And then it's going to bring more people into crypto who are NBA executives. Because now that you have people like you got the two GOATs, you got Tom Brady and Steph Curry. Like, if one of them says, I want my entire paycheck in Bitcoin moving forward, or I want my entire paycheck or whatever, the entire league of the NFL and NBA will follow suit. Oh, Steph, what? Oh, Steph doing it, I'm doing it. If Tom Brady doing it, I'm like, what? Like, you will literally have hundreds of people following suit. And this is actually bad news for regulators in the government, but good news for the crypto space. So again, hand clap for Steph Curry. FTX for making that deal. I really hope everything that's going on the back end of FTX is on the up and up, and they will be here long term, because the noise they're making right now, it would not be good to see FTX fall. So I hope everything they're doing on up and up, and we'll work on trying to actually get SBF on the show possibly, so we can hear from the horse's mouth. But again, this is that Steph Curry commercial. I'm going to share the screen just so we can see it a little bit, share the sound.
So we're announcing the Steph and Curry partnership. What do we got?
Well, I just got the video sent to me, so let's take a look.
I'm thrilled to be announcing partnering with FTX. They wanted to have their team put together an announcement video, but I told them, don't worry, I got this. So enjoy. From FTX, the cryptocurrency exchange that brought you partnerships with Tom Brady, Gisele Bündchen,
it's so corny on the low,
Major League Baseball, TSM, and more. Now announcing our newest partnership, philanthropist, entrepreneur, golfer, father, Stephen Curry.
Hey, shout out to Steph Curry and FTX. We just basically ran their commercial for the free. FTX, I'm gonna send you an invoice later. But cool partnership again. Another is a double. That was a double. That wasn't even the base hit. That was a double as more people start to come around to cryptocurrency. Other than that, for the most part, that is the show. First link I'm about to put in the chat. Make sure you check out that smart marketing token. Of course, that video we did a couple of days ago. Just go ahead and click on that link. Leave a comment, show them some love. Let us know if that's a good project or not. And of course, one more time, I want to thank today's show sponsor. Today was a great show, Vantage.com. Again, a free news and educational resource for those who are in the space. Again, if your masterclass is too expensive or you're looking for other free resources, Vantage is one of our partners. We want to send you their way. You can find the sign up there at go.cryptovantage.com/gentleman tech crypto for this wallet and $1,500, $1,000, or $500 giveaway to invest in crypto. And then again, you can see the 8 different ways to enter, one of which was signing up for that weekly newsletter, which you already did. So again, make sure you sign up, follow them, do all this good stuff. Because I truly hope that we can have our warriors come out in the next 33 days and be like, hey, I just got 1,500 from Crypto Vantage. Hey, I just got a G from, I just got 500. I want that to be our warriors who get those stimulus packages. That way you all can push it to these different communities out here. Again, smash that like and share. As always, thanks for watching. This evening show will be canceled. So yeah, this evening show, our bi-weekly show, we're canceling it today. Bitcoin Zay has been sick, so prayers up to Bitcoin Zay. I think he's actually going to an emergency surgery or whatever down in Texas. He has some stuff going on down there. So shout out to Bitcoin Zay. We're going to be having him in our thoughts and prayers. But because of that, we're going to cancel today's show. But if he's healthy, then next week, we'll just start it back up next week. Other than that, if you still haven't done it, make sure you check out that masterclass. People are getting it every day, and you all are not seeing complaints. So I have to say that's a testament to the class, and I'm proud to say that as well. Other than that, make sure you smash that like and share, and see you all next week. Some more crypto.